Alright, so this is the first problem that you sent me, and the question was to simplify this. So I'm noticing that there's a variable of x. What that means is there may be and there probably will be an x in my answer. So it's not that we're solving for x or like seeing what x should be, just that we're trying to kind of reduce what this statement says. Okay. Notice how they're using parentheses, brackets, and the curly braces. The reason they're doing that is because if they were using all of the same grouping symbol, it would be hard to kind of differentiate which groups go with what. So the idea is you start with the inside and you work your way out. Okay, so we have this outer set of curly braces. I'm going to do that last. Okay, so on the inside here, I have the square braces. So there's something and then -2, and then there's another set of square braces. So I want to start with simplifying inside the square braces. So let's look at this first one. 6 quantity x minus 4, and then plus 5. So this grouping symbol of x minus 4, if we can simplify or combine any like terms inside, we want to do that. But x and 4 are not like terms. So what we do to get rid of that grouping symbol is we have to distribute the 6 throughout. So to distribute, you're going to multiply each term by 6. So 6 times x is 6x, and then 6 times -4 is -24, and then we have this plus 5. So this is what is inside the brackets. And now that we've distributed, we've created a couple like terms, -24 and +5. Those are like terms because they don't have an x, so we can add those together. So 6x minus 19. So what we've done is take this 6 quantity x minus 4 plus 5, and we've written it as just 6x minus 19. We've made it a simpler statement. We're going to do the same thing with this set of brackets. Okay. Once again, start with the x minus 8 and say, can I simplify anything there? I can't. So then to get rid of those braces or parentheses, I distribute the 5. So I'm going to get 5x minus 40. That's coming from 5 times x, then 5 times -8. And then we have -3. And same concept here, we have two like terms, -40 and -3. Those are, we can combine. So we get 5x minus 43. Okay. So I've simplified inside the square braces. Now I want to carry down what I haven't done yet. So starting on this side, I haven't done the 3 and the curly brace. This whole chunk went down to 6x minus 19. I haven't done this -2 yet. And then there's the curly brace at the end. Okay, so notice how we're reducing some terms. It's looking a little bit easier. It's still hard. So now I look at inside these curly braces. Again, I'm going to be doing that last. I have a chunk and then -2 times a chunk. So I want to work on getting rid of these braces. To do that, I simplify on the inside, which I've already done, and then I look and see, is there anything that's a coefficient, or are there any exponents? There's not. So what that means is these braces are useless now. I don't need them. So I'm just going to say 6x minus 19. With these, I've simplified in the inside, but this side has a -2. And so what that means is I need to distribute -2 to get rid of those braces. -2 times 5x is -10x. -2 times -43 is positive 86. Okay, and that was what was inside the curly braces. So now I need to work on simplifying inside the curly braces. There are some like terms. Okay, 6x and negative 10x are like terms because they both have an x to the first power. So to combine them, I just add the coefficients or the numbers out in front. So I'm going to take 6 minus 10 and get negative 4x, and then negative 19 and a positive 86. Those are like terms because they're constants, there's no variable. So I just add them together. Negative 19 plus 86 is plus 67. All right, so I simplified inside the curly braces. And now lastly, to get rid of those curly braces, I have this coefficient of 3, and I distribute again. So I'm going to take 3 times negative 4x to get negative 12x, 3 times 67 to get 201. So there is my final answer. I took this crazy long thing with lots of braces and parentheses and numbers, and I said it all simplifies to just this statement of negative 12x plus 201. Okay, here's the second problem you gave me. Negative 24. Okay, so once again, they're using both parentheses and brackets to help to distinguish when different grouping concepts. So I start on the inside. So I'm going to do this part last. I'm going to start on the inside and say negative 24. Is there anything I can simplify with that? And it's just a number, so no. So what that means is these parentheses are useless because there's no coefficient and there's no exponent. So I'm going to just write negative 24 and then divided by, once again, negative 3 I can't simplify, and there's no coefficient, there's no exponent, so I'm going to just write negative 3. Okay. Negative 24 divided by negative 3. If you take a negative divided by a negative, you get a positive, and 24 divided by 3 is 8. So it's a positive 8 divided by negative 1/2. Okay. I look at the 8 and I notice there's no coefficient, there's no power, so those brackets are useless. I can just say 8 divided by negative 1/2. And at this point, you could probably plug this in your calculator exactly how it reads, 8, and then use the division button, parentheses, negative 1, and then division symbol 2, close the parentheses. If you don't want to use a calculator, the way you can think about this is that you're really taking 8 divided by negative 1/2. And when you divide by a fraction, you can rewrite it as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this is the same thing as 8 times negative 2/1. So a reciprocal is when you flip the top and bottom of a fraction. I'm going to put 8/1 because 8 is the same thing as 8 out of 1. And I do that because when I multiply fractions, I want to multiply top times top and bottom times bottom. And it's easier for me to remember if there's a denominator here, what should go on the bottom. So with the numerator, I'm going to take 8 times negative 2 is negative 16. And then on the denominator, 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 16 divided by 1 is negative 16. So that would be our final answer here. Okay, I hope that helped.